G'day trendsetters, John with Gravel Cyclist. I'm coming to you from the Santos Fat Tire Festival in beautiful Santos, Florida. This guy next to me, Jeremiah Bishop. He's a cyclist of many talents. So I'm not going to talk about how good he is. He's going to tell us how good he is and about Canyon bicycles.
Well, I got dropped on the group ride yesterday, so yeah, maybe I'm good sometimes, but yeah.
Oh mate, you're not doing a good job of selling yourself here.
I'm Jeremiah Bishop, two-time U.S. national mountain bike champion, but I also train on the road, and I'm an early adopter of the all-terrain road riding. So for me, I'm a cyclist. I happen to make my living racing mountain bikes, but I've also won some road races and like to do some gravel adventure riding. So we've been doing this style of riding for a long time. We've got a local event, Harris-Roubaix. We've got Social Strada. We've got my event, the Alpine Loop Gran Fondo in Harrisonburg, now in the 9th year, which is a pretty much all-road type of Gran Fondo. And yeah, I just like to get dirty and you know, go fast. Yeah, a little walk-in. John's gonna, hey, come back here. So this is one of the bikes, one of the go-to bikes for dirt road riding. I think that's a real defining element of how you decide between a Grail and an Endurace. So Canyon makes a really broad quiver of different bikes for different jobs. And I think this is proven to be a real surprise. Quite a bit of tire clearance for a 30C. You've got flex components to both the shape of the seat tube and with the flip head post. You're getting close to a centimeter of rear wheel travel. Look at the clearance. You see that? That's a lot of clearance. So we were gonna clean this bike, but we thought, you know, this is the one that Charlie Snyder raced last weekend at the Stokesville Strada. This is authentic Shenandoah Valley dirt. We did a little bit of a head-to-head. You'll see that on my Facebook fan page, Jeremiah Bishop, between that and the Grail. So can you grab the Grail, please? Yeah, so the Grail is the purpose-built all-terrain drop bar bike. So it's called a gravel bike, but really it's a, you know, a little bit more broad than road. There we go.
We got a Grail.
Get in here, Charlie.
All right, so if I was going to compare this bike to the Endurace, I would actually say that this bike has a little more aggressive geometry. The head tube angle is half a degree steeper, and when you get down in the drops on this bike, you're actually in quite an aggressive position. One thing I really like about this bar is it gives you a unique hand position that you're not going to get on any other bike. You can actually wrap your thumb around here, and it gives you kind of another level of control when you're in the drops. So yeah, when you're doing some technical descending, you're bouncing over those like kind of baby head rocks that we get on some gravel road races. It's going to give you another level of control. But when we get up in the tops here, where we've got this flex area, not only do you have that flex, which gives you some really nice dampening, it brings you back towards yourself and more upright. So it's going to be a nice relaxed climbing position, kind of open up your chest and all that good stuff. Yeah, it's an awesome bike, a lot of technology here.
So if the event says road in it, then yeah, that's where you lean towards a little more traditional geometry. This guy's really got some flex in the top of the hover bar. So the hover bar is a ton of flex in the top. The seat tube and seat post flex is really noticeable, but the biggest difference is the tire clearance and just the attitude of the bike. It really rides really well on off-road situations. If your event has a little bit of single track, or if your event has mixed surface terrain like a Jeep trail, I think Charlie put it best. If you could drive a car on it, you probably want to go with the Endurace. If you need a Jeep or a motorcycle on the route, you probably want to go with the Grail. Yeah, another thing that I noticed in this sort of bike comparison, the lower bottom bracket on the Grail, for example, increased tire clearance if you want to put up to like a 1.75 tire. I mean, this sucker has got a ton of tire clearance. So it's really the mountain biker's gravel bike. And one of the things that also sets it apart from the Endurace, for example, is the stay, the lengths of the stay. So the stays are a bit longer So that provides a couple things: more tire clearance, but it also allows the bike to be a little bit more stable at speed. So when this thing, is dropping down a fire road or dirt road, yeah, it's really stable and is probably a bit more confident, inspiring. So that's kind of my take on our Grail versus Endurace. We'll continue our story on my Facebook fan page and my YouTube channel, In the Wheelhouse with Jeremiah Bishop. We'll have another shootout where we're gonna go a little bit rougher in the off-road and maybe hit a trail and see if Charlie can keep up on the Endurace, and we'll try to test the limits of this guy. Little raw take. So the Mid-Atlantic highlight, some of the Beast Coast, yes I said Beast with a B, Beast Coast gravel events you should hit. Croatan Buck 50 coming up here in just a couple weeks. But we also have some underground events that are really cool. Harris-Roubaix, 20 years in the running. Check out Shenandoah Valley Bicycle Coalition for that. But then we also have some really neat events that are coming up. The Gravel Rockstar, Harrisonburg to Roanoke. It's about probably about 250 miles. It's gonna be a very tough event. Then we also have the Alpine Loop Gran Fondo, of course, October 28th. That's more of a all-road event. Road bikes are fine with big tires. But then we have something that's a proper Grail type ride, mixed terrain, some really tough Jeep trails, fire roads, and that is Trans VA Gravel. So that is from Washington, D.C., from the Washington Monument all the way down to Trail Town, USA, Damascus, Virginia. It is a monster 550-mile bikepacking route. This sucker is going to eat people alive. So it's something like 60,000 feet of climbing. But mid-October, we're going to do a Trans VA stage. What this means is it's much like a stage race where you have a set distance each day, camp out at the end of each day. It's going to be a blast. So check out Trans VA on Instagram and on Facebook for more information.
And I'll have all those events on the gravelcyclist.com calendar.
All right.